Hey guys, it's me again. Uh, Today I wanted to talk about um something that's I've talked about this before. If you go back and look at my farewell message in August as I was acclimatizing to my work in grad school, I talked about it, but um it actually came up in my grad school classes, and that's um the concept of biological essentialism and the difficulties of like skirting around the use and abuse of the theory of evolution by natural selection. And really the main crux of that is, to what degree should we model our worldview and our lives around um the the theory of natural selection, right? Because um it seems sort of cruel, right? Either adapt or you die. um and it seems to sort of suggest that not even humans, even though we like to think of ourselves as, above it all, above nature, and in some ways I think we are, but yet that we're still beholden in some way to sort of a, a pecking order of, um, or a hierarchy. Um, and I would agree, even though I'm disabled, and I'll get to that in a second, I would agree to an extent, right? Even as disabled people, even though um, it has been used against us so much to basically make us out to be burdens and not worth protecting or having a life, right? We still have to come to terms with evolution as the way humans came to be. um the degree to which I think it is wholly applicable to human life is a different story. And really, um it's just like you're seeing me, right? um it's not that I couldn't have adapted and survived, right? It's that I needed help doing it. I mean, you see me, right? I'm educated. I have a bachelor's degree. I'm working on my master's degree. I'm obviously not some type of inferior person. Physically, you could say, right? But at the same time, like, I don't know if I'm gonna reproduce, obviously, but I've engaged in the reproductive act despite, like, um, maybe a lot of people think that we don't do that, but I was able to do that. And so, at what point do we say, oh, okay, we should just let this to natural selection, or instead of saying, okay, let's help, and how much weight do we give to the theory? Um, and this has particular relevance because of, the various medicines that, to varying degrees take supposedly evolutionary psychology to their natural conclusion, or show you how to get someone using these techniques, but the thing is, no purported ideology, no medicine that you take, no capsule is gonna really be able to, number one, account for the indomitable human spirit, and number two, all of the different variables that come with the human conception of self and the human animal, for lack of a better term. And so I really worry about our future because of that, and I really worry about the ideas of Darwinism being oversimplified and used to propel basically us into a new eugenic age in which they're gonna start sterilizing people like me again. They're gonna start taking away some of our rights. That's really scary, and honestly, this whole fascination with the the two particular capsules and their worldviews is very, very worrying. And the funny thing is, the ironic thing is, though, you can tell these people never actually really read Darwin. I've read Darwin. I had to read. When I was 16, I read the 4th edition of The Origin of Species. And now in my grad class, I had to read most of the 1st edition. And now now in both those editions, Darwin makes it extremely clear that, the way that his theory applies to man is actually extremely difficult, because the behaviors of man are extremely complex with so many different variables. Now, keep in mind, I said in the 1st edition, in that edition was like Darwin at his most radical, before he was being attacked, right? The 4th edition came afterward, and in the 4th edition he softens himself even more. He's like, all right, I'll admit maybe creationism can have a place even within natural selection. He has a section even before the book starts in the 4th edition dedicated entirely to just the issue of the descent of man and its relation to the sort of specialness of humans in religion and other cultures, right? But yeah, man, we just have to be really careful about how we read things and that we read things, because a lot of people, both for and against evolution, for whatever reason, leave that out. That Darwin actually did acknowledge the complexities of the human animal when it comes to the application of his theory. And I would advise all of you to do that as well. That's so important. Please, I'm begging you guys. I never really admonish or I guess request things of you guys, but I'm begging you guys, please, please do your due diligence. Have a nuanced take of Darwinism because it's dangerous for people like me if you don't.